Has there ever been a character in Overwatch with as good a hero design and lore as Junker Queen, who is played so little? One look at the statistics on Overbuff tell us that Junker Queen is the least picked tank in Overwatch 2 by far. But why? To find out, I decided to play only Junker Queen for a week straight to understand why no one is rocking with the Australian royalty, and including getting coached by one of the world's best Junker Queen players. Just like everyone else, I too had shied away from playing Junker Queen. From my side, I just looked at the hero and thought, man, she's too hard to learn, and what would she even give me that another tank can't give me easier? And I was sort of right, at least initially. Junker Queen is hard, and I'm not just talking about her abs. There is no free value in this character's kit. Everything you do has to be earned the hard way. The shots aren't easy, the axe requires you to put yourself in danger, you have no shield, the ult is countered by 8 things, and the knife, the all-important knife, is an absolute bitch to land. I mean, I was chucking this thing like a level 1 fisherman in an MMO game trying to score the ultimate catch, and it was not working. It just seemed so difficult to do reliably that it felt pointless when I could have just picked Roadhog and done it all easier. The knife just has such a weird arc that it seems hard to predict. So getting the hang of her mechanics was a real difficulty, but then came the second difficulty of Junker Queen. Even when I was doing alright and landing my abilities, my character was hard nerfed by one thing. She isn't Reinhardt. The account I was playing on started off in Plat, and at this elo, everyone just wants you to be Reinhardt and fight their Reinhardt. And it is so infuriating. Another look at those overbuff statistics tell you that Reinhardt is being played over 4 times more than Junker Queen, and that's all that everybody expects. We left Overwatch 1 behind us almost 6 months ago, and even in Overwatch 1 we had evolved past the game's strategy just being big tank, fight big tank. And yet, in Overwatch 2, a game with so much room and so many angles to do things for yourself, people still just wanted me to bash my head aimlessly at the enemy tank, and if I didn't, they'd get mad. This game on Lijiang Tower was the perfect example. In the first round, my team was put on Control Center, arguably the best map in the game for what we call brawl comps. Short range, death ball comps, which just stack together and run over their opponents, and that's exactly what Reinhardt loves doing. And even though the enemy team was running this comp and my team wasn't, they still wanted me to bash my head into the front line over and over, even when it was very clear that we'd lose that fight. None of our heroes were good at it.
Why? Why are you running there the entire
time? Let it go. We're keep on PPS alive. We pretend like this is our front line.
I even tried to explain all this to my team and how we should actually play the matchup, that we needed to flank and take off angles to win. Instead, they just mocked and flamed me.
Yo guys, can I explain my POV, and then we can maybe come to an understanding. So they're running Ryan Rush, right? So they have Ryan, Mei, Lucio. We're never gonna beat that front up, so I cannot frontline on them. We need to off angle people. Like if we fight them in a choke on our own, we will lose. That's just their comp.
Have it been working?
Despite all of that, I still popped off and pulled out a win for my team, but they still flamed me, saying that our win was despite what I did, not because of what I did.
Oh yeah, easy.
Oh, easy, so easy.
GG.
So it's a GG now?
Yeah, not for you.
Overwatch players. But you know what? Fuck them. Even though I kept encountering the problem I mentioned of everyone outside of GM not knowing that there are more styles of Overwatch than just big man fight big man, it started to matter less and less. Because as I got good on this hero, I just started to dominate. I had no idea that this hero had this much power and carry potential, and I was landing knives, hitting shots, and just decimating entire teams on my own. Yeah, plenty of teams were still flaming me or throwing fights on their own, but I had so much fun and so much power in my hands that it didn't even matter. There was one thing that kept coming up to bother me though, and that was the real difference in how much fun I was having. The enemy support picks. I'll tell you a secret that I've learned. There are 2 Junker Queens. There's the Junker Queen that can win an entire team fight on her own if she plays well and smartly when the enemy team is running anything but Ana and Kiriko. And then there's the Junker Queen that you play when those 2 are in the game, and she is miserable. You see, Junker Queen is very easy to counter. Ana's anti-nade shuts down her self-healing, and Junker Queen is specifically designed to not have armor or a shield because she's supposed to heal herself. That is how she tanks. So if you get naded while you're fighting, you're just dead. Then combine this with Kiriko's Suzu, the strongest ability in the game, and Suzu can not only make your opponents intangible so that if you want to axe them or knife them, you just can't, but it can also completely shut down your ultimate, which relies on putting a bleeding and anti-nade effect on your opponents that she can completely cleanse off. And sometimes, it even counters you without meaning to counter you. Bro, the Suzu! Sleep Dart, anti-nade, Suzu. With so many cooldowns to have to wait before I could do anything, I just started to feel like I must have been doing something wrong. And that's when I turned to a better pair of hands than mine. Guru is one of the world's best tank streamers, consistently ranking in the top 10 of the NA ladder. He's also done many unranked to GMs, including one on Junker Queen. So if anyone could tell me how to play this hero better, it was him. The first thing he taught me is that to play Junker Queen, you have to be very patient. It's funny because the hero and the lore character seems to be so gung-ho. Junker Queen seems to encourage you to just fly in there and get scrapping, but that's actually not how you should do it.
I think the biggest thing is that you're not really baiting out cooldowns before you do your engages, and you're also shouting early. You're shouting early to like engage, but
Right.
I really only ever shout if I'm like, you know, about to just jump on top of somebody. There's like a huge checklist that you have to go through, right? So I'm trying to force out as much shield as possible, trying to force out any, you know, nade or whatever, orb turns, just basically anything.
So like what I'm getting is that like you're playing super patient and like almost like, you know, I was discussing this earlier. Is it similar like in an almost Roadhog-esque faction where you're kind of fishing? You're like, you know, you're chucking the knife out and you're looking, you're like, can I get something? Can I get something?
Yeah, kind of, but it's just like so much harder, you know?
We watched one of his replays and he kind of broke down his approach to the game. Then we got to the part where he would live coach me, and what he told me made a lot more sense. The bait of Junker Queen is that you think you have to constantly be brawling the enemy team up close, or using your commanding shout all the time just to run in and start fighting. But that's not it at all. You're actually poking around the edges and waiting till an opponent steps out of position, or you're able to land a knife to force and pull them out of position. And then, and only then, do you actually commit with your commanding shout and pounce on them. No one seems to expect it either, because they forget the speed boost you get with the shout. So people will constantly stand close enough for you to run up, axe, or just shoot them to death. Once I got this concept, the hero was well and truly unlocked for me. With Wrecking Ball and Sombra, the two heroes I'd learned previously, I was completely lost and clueless on just the fundamentals of the heroes. I needed my teachers to really guide me and correct my playstyle. But with Junker Queen, she just came so much more natural to me. I understood the flow of the hero much better, and as Guru watched me, I was just farming the lobbies I was in.
Fuck it.
I hold that. I hold that. Oh my. Oh!
No. Oh, dude. Yo, we do it. Go against me.
Ooh, ew, what was that? You're a sicko.
So is there anything like you would have done differently there in like you know, big picture things?
Not really, honestly. You got it down. Now it's just like making sure your mechanics are good enough so that you can do everything that you can imagine.
Do I just play back here for a bit, I think?
Sure, yeah. Go over the spawn camp. They just trance, so, you know, if you think you can make something happen, there's all of them on. Oh my god, and then shout. Get there. You're juicing.
So,
What the?
we
You're
got him.
sicko.
We fucking got him.
That's a Junker Queen moment for sure. You're farming these kids. You do not need me.
That's not to say I was playing flawlessly, of course. No one can. But what Guru helped me most with was my mentality. See, I was getting frustrated, feeling like I was doing a lot and still losing, or getting countered, and I kept feeling like it meant I was doing something fundamentally wrong. But as he assured me that I was on the right track and just needed more practice, it made me feel so much more at ease and confident. Honestly, this is just Overwatch 2 matchmaking. Sometimes you will destroy a lobby and still lose because your teammates were sniffing glue. But the other thing that Guru taught me is that sometimes you just gotta go for it and take a risk. See, he suffered at the hands of the same things that I suffered with, namely Suzu and anti-nade. But while there are a lot of things that can shut you down, he taught me that as long as you dodge a few of those things, at some point you just gotta go in and make something happen. As the week finished, I really felt more comfortable on Junker Queen than any hero I've learned so far. I realized that initially that anxiety and uneasy feeling I had with Junker Queen, that this hero was too hard to learn, just came from a lack of familiarity. Junker Queen is such a new hero and new playstyle to us all that you can feel completely lost as to how to approach certain fights. But once you get familiar with your matchups against enemy tanks, you will feel a lot more comfortable. So let me see if I can help you out from my experiences. Against dive tanks like Doomfist, Ball, and Winston, you can win super easily if you just wait till they jump on your team. The way these heroes work is that they jump in, do some damage, and then jump out. Well, if you knife them when they jump in, you can pull the knife back when they're trying to leave, completely ruining their timings and leaving them dead to rights. Against brawl tanks like Reinhardt and Orisa, it's all about the bleeds. They will try to get up in your face to use their abilities, but guess what? Your shotgun hits harder. So keep using your knife and melee to self-heal while spamming their heads with pellets, and they will have to back up or die. And the axe is an absolute killer against clumped up enemies, because if you hit 4 or 5 people with it, the cooldown resets almost immediately, you do tons of damage, and you get lots of healing for yourself. And my final tip, don't be afraid of this hero. God, Junker Queen is just so much fun. I don't remember the last time I played a hero, particularly a tank, that has so much carry potential and is so fluid and rewarding to play. Remember what I said at the start about this hero having no free value, no easy, cheap way to win? Well, while that makes her hard to learn, it also makes her incredibly satisfying to play, because when you pop off with her, you know you popped off. You didn't cheese your way to a win with some BS mechanic. You played like a queen, and you farmed like a queen. So Overwatch community, stop sleeping on the Junker Queen and get playing her, because when you do, you will fall in love with this sexy beast. And that's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and tell me what you want to see me play next. I will be learning a support hero now, so in the comment section you should find 3 options of Lucio, Moira, and Mercy, so go like the post for the hero you want to see me learn the most. If you want to watch my hero learning journeys live, then I'll be streaming them on twitch.tv/SAB_, and as always, I want to give a huge shout out to my patrons who do the awesome job of supporting me, and I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have awesome Overwatch games, and hope to see you very, very soon. Peace out.